So let us start the session. Yesterday we were discussing about the history of yoga. We understood yoga is a spiritual science. It is not a religious science. Religion is based on belief, but spirituality is based on experience. So how to experience the unknown? That is the aim of the yogic science. This is spirituality. And we understood yoga is helping you to see your real nature, which is consciousness, Chaitanya. And we discuss Yoga Vedanta, right? The three streams of yoga we understood: Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, and Jnana Yoga. We will study Raj Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga later. And we understood the three pathways of Yoga Vedanta: Shaivism, Vaishnavism, and Shaktism. And under Shaktism, many things are there: Kundalini Yoga, Hatha Yoga, Laya Yoga, Mantra Yoga, Tantra, all the contributions of Shaktism. And Yoga Vedanta is based on Hindu religion, that also we understood. And today we can discuss Buddhism, Buddhist yoga, and Patanjali yoga. Time is less, I'm going little fast. Actually, Buddha didn't introduce any yoga. The historians, they gave the name Buddhist yoga. If Buddha born in this time, he cannot accept that, because he never described God. Buddhism speaks on awareness, but not God. Buddhism, Jainism, and Charvaka, they are not believing in the existence of God. They do not have God concept. But nowadays we can see the Buddhist monks, they are worshipping many gods, goddesses, and all. Now they start practicing worshipping idols and all. But Buddha cannot accept that. Buddha is not accepting, he is not rejecting. That is his attitude. It's a middle path. Once a person asked Lord Buddha, do you believe in God? And Buddha said, did I ever teach anything about God? And he declared, there is no God. And again Buddha said, did I ever said, there is no God? So he is not accepting and he is not rejecting God. You can place Buddha's idol at your home. Any Buddhist, any Christians, any Hindus, any Muslims can place Buddha's idol at their home. But the Christians are afraid to keep Hindu idols at their home. Muslims are afraid to keep Hindu idols at their home. But Buddha can reach everywhere. Buddha can reach everywhere. Why? Because he's not representing any religion. He's not representing any, he's not speaking about any gods. He spoke about godliness, mercy, compassion, love. He can reach everywhere. Then why we call Buddhist yoga? Now you can see Buddhism, they are practicing yoga. They borrow yoga. It says Patanjali came after Buddha, but the date is not yet confirmed. Still it is a controversy. We do not know the exact time of Patanjali, but the historian says that Patanjali Maharshi borrowed many concepts from Buddhism. The Ahimsa concept, non-violence, we borrowed from Buddhism. Brahmacharya concept, we borrow from Buddhism, but we do not know what is right and what is wrong. Many of you know Vipassana meditation, Anapana meditation, Ana inhalation, Apana exhalation, mindful meditation, watching your body, breath, or conscious living. So this all comes under Buddhist yoga actually. So the historians gave the name Buddhist yoga. And what is Patanjali yoga? We focus more on Patanjali yoga in this 200 hours course. Patanjali is the person who compiled yoga. We understood Patanjali is not the founder of yoga. Patanjali is the codifier. He is the person who compiled yoga and make a book. It is called Patanjali Yoga Sutras. If you want to be a good yoga teacher, if you want to be a good scholar in yoga, you must buy that book and you should study that. Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Many interpretations are there. So you can read any books. Bihar School of Yoga's one book is there that is quite famous. The book name is 4 Chapters on Freedom. 4 Chapters on Freedom. I.K. Taimini, he gave interpretation on Yoga Sutras. I.K. Taimini. The Science of Yoga. The book name is The Science of Yoga. And Swami Vivekananda wrote commentary on Patanjali Yoga Sutra. The book name is Raja Yoga. These 3 books are quite popular, quite famous. So you can choose any of those books and please go through that because you are studying yoga. So Patanjali wrote Patanjali Yoga Sutra. 196 sutras are there in that book. 196. Sutra in English, aphorisms. Aphorisms. APHORISM. Aphorism. So 196 sutras and 4 chapters in that book. 4 chapters. The first chapter is called Samadhipada. Samadhipada speaks about what is superconscious state. And the second chapter, known as Sadhana Pada, I will type one. First one is Samadhi Pada. Samadhi Pada, first chapter, speaks about what is superconscious state. Superconscious state is different, transcendental state is different. Samadhi is superconscious state. Transcendental state you can experience if you use any drugs, but that is not a samadhi at all. That is not at all samadhi. Second chapter is sadhana. Sadhana pada. Sadhana pada teach what are the ascetic practices, what are the spiritual exercises we can practice for attaining that state and for attaining for getting superhuman powers and all. Sadhana. The very word sadhana means spiritual exercise, ascetic practices. And the third chapter is Vibhuti Pada. What is Vibhuti? VIBH, okay, not double H. VIBHOOTA, Vibhuti. Vibhuti is not ash. It is not ash. The real meaning of Vibhuti means being extraordinary. So once you enter into the third chapter, after the intense practice of sadhana, you are becoming extraordinary. Many powers revealed in you, supernatural powers, superhuman powers revealed. Clairvoyance, clairaudience, extrasensory perception, all these things appear. So that is Vibhuti, Vibhuti Pada. How to attain the occult powers, superhuman powers, that all techniques written in the third chapter, Vibhuti Pada. And the last one is Kaivalya Pada. Kaivalya Pada. So in yogic terminology, we use Kaivalya. And the spiritual Hinduism, they use the word moksha. Buddhism, they use the word nirvana. Everything same. In Christianity, they use the term salvation. So all one and the same. Kaivalya. How to attain liberation.
One doubt, sir.
Yes.
Can I ask one doubt?
Yes, please.
They say that there is a difference between Mukti and Moksha. And there are different levels of Mukti before we are attaining Moksha. Some say Moksha is the ultimate. Some say Mukti is the ultimate. What exactly is the...
So Mukti there is really subtle difference actually. So if you study Bhagavad Gita, you can see the word Jivan Mukta. Jivan Mukta. So while living in this material reality itself, the person is liberating himself. So Ramana Maharshi is an example. So he liberates himself in this very life itself. So not after the death. So one can be a mukta from the material reality, from the transitory enjoyments, from the sorrows, agonies, and miseries. So it is enlightenment state, mukta, freedom, be free from the clutches of the prakriti. So that is mukta, mukta. Got it. So we can say some people as Jivan Mukta, liberated sage. And in Samadhi, higher Samadhi, you can speak about moksha. So once you enter into the Nirvikalpa Samadhi or Nirbija Samadhi, highest state, after 21st day, the person will die. Once you experience Nirbija Samadhi or Nirvikalpa Samadhi, after 21 days, he will leave from this earthly realm. So that is the highest. There are many stages. It's a bit complicated. Even I cannot describe, I cannot verbalize all those things.
I accept it. Yeah.
So what we were speaking? Yes, Kaivalya. Kaivalya. So these are the 4 chapters in Patanjali Yoga Sutra. 4 chapters. Patanjali Yoga actually is, he developed that darshana by the support of Sankhya philosophy. I told you, the mother is Sankhya. Sankhya brought forward 2 terms which are Prakriti and Purusha. Okay, Prakriti and Purusha. Prakriti means the universe, the material reality, that is Prakriti. Purusha means consciousness. Consciousness, Purusha. Okay. Yoga Vedanta brought forward 2 terms which are Brahman and Atman. That is very famous. Everybody knows Brahman and Atman. Now we are going to study the difference between Brahman and Atman, Prakriti and Purusha. And what is the major difference between Yoga Vedanta and Patanjali Yoga? This is important. We must study that. So, what is Brahman? What is Atman? This is the step. 1 minute, let me share the screen. Okay. Yoga Vedanta. Under Yoga Vedanta, you can see Brahman and Atman. Patanjali Yoga, 2 terms, Prakriti, Purusha. Now let us understand first Yoga Vedanta, then next Patanjali. Brahman means universal consciousness. Already it is written here. Atman means individual consciousness. Okay. So what is universal consciousness? What is individual consciousness? If anybody knows, please answer. What is your understanding?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please.
So Brahman here it is states as universal consciousness means we can refer to God because he knows everything about this universe, and Atman means our individual soul, which have the consciousness about our own individual only.
Okay.
So Brahman can be referred to God, and Atman means ourself.
Okay, fine. Any other ideas?
So when we realize that we are part of the one, that is like we are one with God, and that is beyond religion, beyond any caste, creed, and everything, and we go to a higher consciousness level where we realize that we are with Aham Brahmasmi, that concept of I and the divine are the one.
Great, very good. Good answer. Any other ideas?
That means one of the ideas that I am not an individual, I am not a human, I am a, I am a universe, I am part of the universe.
Right. Then okay, let us understand. So Brahman means that which is everywhere, and Atman means that which is within you. I will explain. It's not It's one point, only one point. Brahman means that which is everywhere. Atman means that which is within you. Actually, Brahman and Atman one and the same. Because of Maya, because of ignorance, illusion, we are thinking that we are different from Brahman. So it says we all are fragmented consciousness. The spark of a small spark of the big fire, not different. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Now,
Yes, sir.
So Atman means fragmented. We all are fragmented consciousness of the consciousness. For example, Vedanta philosophy says, Naliyate kumbha ivambaram swayam. Naliyate kumbha ivambaram swayam. It means the space. Make sure your mic is muted. Okay. So Naliyate kumbha ivambaram swayam. It means the space inside the pot and the space outside the pot, same. Understood? The space inside the pot and the space outside the pot, one and the same. So the space inside the pot represents the individual consciousness, and the space outside the pot represents the universal consciousness. If anyone break the pot, the space inside the pot will merge into the space outside the pot. The space inside the pot will become one with the space outside the pot. There is no difference between the space inside the pot and the space outside the pot. So the Brahman and Atman one are the same. Got it? If you are not understanding, let me know. I can repeat it again.
Sir, please repeat it.
Okay. That's, for example, you just imagine a pot. Okay. The space inside the pot represents individual consciousness, and the space outside the pot represents universal consciousness. If you break the pot, the space inside the pot will become one with the space outside the pot. There is no difference between the space outside the pot and the space inside the pot. So this is an analogy we are using in Vedanta. So the Atman and the Brahman one and the same, no difference at all. Because of ignorance, because of avidya, we are thinking that we are different from God. We are different from God. We are far away from God. So Vedanta says, God in all in God, all as God. Understood? God in all in God, all as God. There is no difference. There is one without two. Ekameva dudiyam. Ekameva dudiyam. There is one without two. There is another analogy using in Vedanta philosophy. For example, in this batch, 26 students are there. Just think, 26 students are there. You take 26 bowls of water under the sun. You can see 26 sun in 26 bowls. But actually there is only one sun, right? Actually there is only one sun. Myself and yourself, one and the same. There is no 26 self here. That is ignorance. If you are thinking that there are 26 selves, it is ignorance. Myself and yourself, one and the same. My body is different, your body is different. My mind is different, your mind is different. My intellect is different, your intellect is different. But the self behind me and the self behind you, one and the same. Got it? So, the aim of Yoga Vedanta is union. Union of the individual self with the universal self. The union of Atman with Brahman. That is the aim of Yoga Vedanta. That is communion. That is called Advaita state, non-dualistic state. When the Atman dissolves into Brahman, there is no duality at all. There is only oneness. Got it? So we all are one. The Prakriti is different, but the Purusha is the self. Now, when we come to Patanjali Yoga, Patanjali brought forward two terms, borrowed two terms from Samkhya Yoga, Samkhya, which are Prakriti and Purusha. Got it? Prakriti and Purusha. Prakriti means the manifested universe. Whatever you are experiencing through the five senses called Prakriti. So your mobile phone, your laptop, your headphone, the desk, bench, whatever you can experience through the five senses is called Prakriti. One minute. Okay. So Prakriti means manifested universe. And Purusha means consciousness. Purusha means consciousness. So I told you, whatever you can experience through the five senses is called Prakriti. So your body is also considered as Prakriti. Your physical body, your energy body, your mind, your intellect, all comes under Prakriti. Understood? And in Patanjali Yoga, disunion is called enlightenment, liberation. But in Yoga Vedanta, union is called liberation. Union of the Atman with the Brahman is called enlightenment. And the separation is called bondage. Okay. If you think that Brahman is something different and Atman is something different, as long as you are in duality, it is called bondage. So union of the Atman with the Brahman is called enlightenment. But in Patanjali Yoga, it is just opposite. So you will come to know that. So I told you, Prakriti means the material reality. Purusha means the absolute reality, that which is within you, consciousness, Chaitanya, that is consciousness. So you have to separate Prakriti from Purusha, not union, disunion. You have to separate Prakriti from Purusha. Then only it is called enlightenment, liberation. So as long as you are experiencing, as long as you are enjoying the transitory enjoyments, material pleasures, material reality, how you can identify yourself as Purusha? How you can identify yourself as consciousness? It is not possible. So when you practice meditation, if you are thinking about your body, mind, if you are identifying yourself as a feminine, female, belongs to this religion, belongs to this nationality, it means you are under the clutches of Prakriti. So you have to be free from all these identifications, concepts, ideas. You have to be free from the clutches of the body, the mind, intellect. You have to identify yourself as consciousness, Purusha. For that, you have to separate Prakriti. Got it? So separation is called liberation in Patanjali Yoga. Union is called bondage in Patanjali Yoga. Union. So this is clear? Somehow clear, right? Any questions? Yes.
Sir, can you please repeat the last point?
Yes.
You said that according to Patanjali Yoga, separation of Prakriti and Purusha.
Yes.
Now you said again it's a union of that. So
Yeah. A union is called bondage.
I didn't get.
So if you are so attached to the Prakriti, then you suffer. For example, why?
Materialistic.
Yes. If you are so materialistic in nature, you always suffer. For example, if I am identifying myself as mind, if I am identifying myself as mind and emotions, what will happen? I always suffer. Small feelings, or emotions always hurting me. Jealousy, anger, insecurity feeling, fear, always influence me because I am identifying myself as mind and emotions. So I am in Prakriti. I am in the clutches of Prakriti. If I am so body conscious, I am always focused on food. I am always focused on my health, my beauty and all. If I lost those things, if I am missing those things, I feel so bad because I am in the clutches of Prakriti. So I have to be free from these identifications. I have to identify myself as consciousness, self. So I have to separate my Prakriti. I have to be separated. Then I am safe. So that is why I told separation is called liberation according to Patanjali Yoga, and union. If you are always with Prakriti, then you are always disturbed. Got it?
Okay, sir. Clear. Thank you.
Any other questions? No questions. Only few of you are asking questions. Elizabeth, you
Sir,
are
like
clear?
Vedantari Maharishi says that
Yes.
in Sky Yoga, he says that everything is a energy particle, and we also vibrate in a frequency in energy form only. And when this energy form through meditation, we'll be able to merge with the universal consciousness. That is given in the Sky Yoga concept of.
Yes, simplified Kundalini Yoga, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what we have said is right. So we are using that energy as a medium for liberation. We are using energy as a medium. So in Kundalini Yoga, Shakti is the medium. Shakti is in the actual English word for Shakti is awareness. This Shakti, this awareness will lead you to consciousness. In Saundari Lahari, written by Adi Shankaracharya, he says, we all the children of God, and the mother is the Kundalini Shakti. And if you devote yourself to that Shakti, if you surrender yourself completely to that Shakti, she will lead you to your father. He is Shiva. Okay. So the energy in Kundalini Yoga is Shakti awareness. So it is a medium. It is a medium there, but not the ultimate. It is not the ultimate. So clear, Raja?
Yeah, sir. Please continue.
Okay. So this is Kundalini concept. Adi Shankaracharya, what he has said.
Sir, one doubt, sir.
Yes. Dr. Yoga.
Sir, actually, sir, you have mentioned so many philosophies and different sections of yoga.
Right.
So it makes us quite, confusing learning all different types of philosophies, and it's quite different to understand also. So as a yogi practitioner, yeah, we are aware of this all types of yoga, but my question is there any fixed a lineage of philosophy or a philosophy which a yogi practitioner should follow or should believe like that?
Okay.
Hmm.
So aim of Shanti Yoga is find your yoga, not Shanti Yoga. So we are helping you to find yourself. So do not follow anyone, let me tell you. Do not
Excellent,
follow
sir.
anyone. So if you follow, you are slave to that tradition. You cannot find yourself. So do not follow anyone. Do not follow any style. So do not accept me. Do not accept me what I am saying. If you completely follow what I am saying, it means you do not have personality. So you should not accept me and you should not reject me. So just travel with me. And in some moment you can understand yourself. So first thing is do not follow any style. Find yourself. Find yourself. So as long as you follow someone, you are not using your intelligence. You are not at all using your intelligence. You are blind. You are emotionally blind to that tradition. You are emotionally blind to that particular guru, and you will miss yourself. So in Santhi Yoga, all masters will tell you here, do not follow us. Do not follow Santhi Yoga. Learn something from here. Just try to look at yours and then go ahead. That's all. Here we are not forcing you to follow any styles. Here we will introduce many things. After learning 200 hours course, you may think that this is not my path, my style. You can reject yoga if it is not matching. You can reject that. So yoga is just one of the medium. Okay? By practicing Christianity, by practicing Sufism, Zen, by practicing Vedanta, we can go heights. Yoga is not apt to everyone. Don't think that. If you are a Jnana Yogi in temperament, and if you follow Bhakti Yoga tradition, definitely you will miss yourself. If you are a Bhakti Yogi in temperament, and if you enter into Jnana Yoga tradition, then you cannot spiritually progress. So you have to realize what I am, what is my temperament. Then go ahead. You have to read it.
So,
Okay.
how will we come to know that in which temperament we are?
After learning the
Okay,
course,
okay. We are still there. Okay.
you will come to know.
Thank you so much, sir. It's quite interesting to learn that, sir. Because in Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna spoke to Lord Krishna spoke to Arjuna about the many different types of yoga. But at last, he gives the free will to Arjuna to decide which yoga path should he follow. So, yeah, thank you so much.
Okay. Now you understood, right? Prakriti and Purusha difference. Patanjali Yoga you understood, and you understood Yoga Vedanta. So some people are very silent, and I am afraid of that silence. Manisha, Sia, Anija, Aishwarya, Elizabeth, all of you are there, right? Okay. No doubts, no questions.
As for now, we are understanding it, sir. But we have to just see how it goes.
Okay. Be a
For
passive.
now, it's all. Yeah. For now, it's like everything is understood. The way you're telling is, we are able to get it. Even
Okay,
the
fine.
difficult concepts is explained in a very neat and understanding way. So,
Okay. Great.
thank you. Yes.
So after a few days, we will come to that track. After 1 or 2 days, definitely we will come to that track. Beginning it is difficult, I know. All the complex words, difficult
Yeah.
terminologies.
A bit confusing also, like things. But it's well explained, sir.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, coming back. So now we are coming to the syllabus. Okay, this is the introduction to yoga is over. And these all things you need not study. So I will tell you what else you should study. The introduction part is over. Now we are coming to the syllabus. Definitions of yoga. So we are going to start the definitions of the 1 minute. So we enter into Patanjali Yoga Sutra. So there are many definitions in yoga, many definitions. But here we will study few definitions, only few definitions, but in depth. There is a nickname for yoga. It is called triple M technique. Yoga is a triple M technique. M technique. Okay. It means mastery over the monkey mind. So yoga is teaching you how to get mastery over the monkey mind. How to get mastery over the monkey mind. So it's a triple M technique. Yoga is triple M technique, mastery over the monkey mind. How to train your mind. What is mind? Is all what we are going to study now. So, what is the nature of monkey? Now, consistency.
It jumps from one place to another, and so does our mind.
Yes. So, yes. So, that is the nature of monkey, jumping from one branch to another, then that branch to another. Keep jumping. No stability, no consistency. Our human mind is exactly like that, it says. We are not jumping from one branch to another. We are jumping from one thought to another, then that thought to another. Keep jumping. No consistency, no stability. There is no discipline in thoughts. There is no discipline in mind. How to get mastery over that monkey mind? That is the aim of, one of the aim of yoga. Some of you may know about the famous Hindu saint Swami Shivananda, the founder of Shivananda Yoga. Right? Shivananda. So Shivananda wrote a beautiful book. Its name is Thought Power. Thought Power. In that book, he said that in 5 minutes, approximately 100 thoughts are passing through our mind. In 5 minutes, approximately, maybe more than that. And if you are able to reduce 10 thoughts out of 100, you got 10% of mind power. During meditation time, okay? Or when you sit alone. And he says, if you are able to reduce 50 thoughts out of 100, you got 50% of mind power. During the meditation time, if you are able to be in a thoughtless state, no mind state, means you are extraordinary, 100% mind power. You became a yogi. So this state we have to achieve by practicing sadhana. And that mind is extremely powerful. With that mind, whatever you want, you can achieve. So powerful that mind is. You can attract many things. A yogi is able to switch off his mind at any time. A yogi is able to switch on his mind at any time. When we practice meditation, how many of us can switch off our mind and stay in no mind state? It's difficult, right? Thoughts are keep attacking, especially the memories are keep attacking us. Memories are keep attacking. So this art, what we are learning in this course, how to get mastery over the monkey mind, how to attain thought power, achieve thought power. If you completely aware, if you move with me, definitely you can, definitely. But you have to be so attentive. The secrets I might tell in between you have to catch. So in between you have to catch. So you have to be so attentive. So this is the aim. This is the main aim of yoga. Main aim of yoga. And how to attain that. That is what we are going to study in few classes. And this is the first sutra. Okay. This is the first sutra. This is not the definition of yoga. This is the first sutra of Patanjali. Atha Yoganushasana. Atha means now. Actually, the exact meaning of Atha is now. Atha Yoganushasana. Now the discipline of yoga. Now. Atha Yoganushasana. So what is the meaning of this very sutra? Very first sutra. So the word Atha. The word Atha is important. Now. Now. Now means present, right? Present. How many of us can live in the present 100%? I am not able. How many of us can live in this moment? For example, most of the people, there is a psychological time. Past, present, future. More than 99% of the people, they are living in the past and they are living in the future. I told you yesterday. Very few are living in the present. For example, you are sitting in a beautiful place, such a beautiful place. But you are not able to enjoy that beauty. Why? Because the present moment is influenced by the previous experiences and the previous memories. Right? Did you observe that? And you are not able to enjoy the beautiful moments. I have seen many people. So you are sitting simply, you are meditating, or you are looking at the nature. The nature is so beautiful. The birds are singing, the beautiful climate, breeze, everything's so beautiful. But you are not able to be in the present moment because the present moment is influenced by the previous memories, bitter memories, previous life experiences that is coming to your conscious mind and make you so sad. Some people, they are thinking about the future. They are imagining, they are thinking about the future. Very few are living in the present. So you have to come to the present moment. This moment is your life. If you realize yourself, if you want to realize yourself, you have to come to the present. So now the discipline of yoga. The discipline happens once you come to now, present. What is the meaning of the word discipline? What is the meaning of the word discipline? Say something. Discipline. Nandini, what do you
Proper
Make
way.
two people
Proper way. Follow
ask?
the proper way. Following the particular rules. Perfect rules.
Okay. Yes. That is right. Anjali.
Yes,
Anjali.
make some rules so that we can organize ourselves.
Okay. Fine. Clancy says dedication. Fine. Then Kogil. Kogil, are you there? Kogil. Kogil is not there. I have to put absent then. Some people are switch off their videos and going somewhere. Ravi Prakash. Are you there? Ravi. The two absent is okay. What else? Speak out.
A stream. I mean, a stream to follow.
Okay. Let us understand what is the meaning of the word discipline. So what you have said is right. But here discipline means in spirituality creating an order within, regular control over your actions. Kasturi says that is right. Good, very good. So another one explanation is never allow your mind to dissipate. Never allow your mind to dissipate. So what is the result? So control over your actions, regular control over your actions. If your mind is dissipated, there is no control over your actions, over your thoughts, over your words. There is no discipline. So two meanings it has. Creating an order within and never allow your mind to dissipate. It says you have to be in a room, okay? You have to be in a room. Take a piece of paper and write down whatever the thoughts comes. Write it down in a paper. The first thought might be the sound of the fan. Second thought, any person's image. Let it be the second sentence. Third thought, any vehicle's image or sound. Write it down. So whatever the thoughts comes to your mind, write down in a paper and give that paper to someone. After reading that, he will tell this person is having some disorder because the first sentence is not at all connected with the second sentence. That is not at all connected with the third sentence. So there is no connection, there is no link at all. So the human mind is just like that. There is no discipline in thoughts. There is no discipline in words, in action. So yoga is teaching the discipline. For creating that discipline, you have to be aware. The moment you are coming to awareness, you are living in the present. You are in the present. Buddhism speaks about awareness. Awareness is the state of mind which neither accept nor reject. It will not judge. It won't condemn. It observes the thing as it is. That is the highest state of mind, okay? Awareness is the state of mind which neither accept nor reject. It will not judge. It will not condemn. condemn, condemn. It merely observe the thing as it is, without judgment, without rejection, without acceptance. So that state of mind, that is the purest state of mind. So you are coming to that state. Once you come to discipline, likes and dislikes both are the diseased state of mind according to Buddhism. Likes and dislikes both are the diseased state of mind. If you see the thing as it is, you are highly mature. Accept a person as he is. Accept a person as she is, without analyzing, without judging. So mind is so disciplined. That state, it happens when you practice sadhana. It happens. Okay. So coming back. And the next sutra is the real definition of yoga, and this you must study in Sanskrit. Yoga chitta vritti nirodha. Yoga chitta vritti nirodha. Controlling the modifications of the mind is called yoga. This is the definition of yoga according to Maharshi Patanjali, and this is a sure question in your examination, and you have to study this in Sanskrit itself. You must by heart it. Yoga chitta vritti nirodha. Controlling. Nirodha means not control, block. Nirodha means block. Blocking the modifications of the mind is called yoga. The disturbances of the mind, the patterns of the mind. That is called yoga. Swami Shivananda gave an essence. He says, yogic state is a perfect state where there is neither imagination nor thought. Yogic state is a perfect state where there is neither imagination nor thought. Okay. So Shivananda says, yogic state is a perfect state where there is neither imagination. So imagination is in the future. You are visualizing something. You are imagining something. Thought. Thoughts are the response of your memories. It is in the past what the senses experience that stored in your memory and that comes as thought. So freedom from the future and the past. So yogic state is a perfect state where there is neither imagination nor thought. It means there is no mind at all, no mind state. Hatha Yoga Pradipika says no mind state is called yoga. Manonmani state is called yoga. Manonmani. Mano unmani. Mano unmani means no mind state. In that no mind state, you are identifying yourself as consciousness. Self. That state is called a yogic state. So once you block all the modifications of the mind, then it is called a no mind state. Mind is absent completely. And the self is revealed to you. You can feel the movement of the unknown. So in this sutra, we can see chitta, yoga, chitta. Chitta means, what is chitta? Anybody knows what is chitta? We all understood what is yoga, little bit. At the end of the course, you will get a complete picture about yoga. Now we are going to discuss the second word, yoga, chitta. The word chitta, what we are going to study now. Yes, please.
Chitta, mind, no?
Body. Soul.
Mind,
Memory.
intellect,
Okay.
Mind. Chitta is mind.
Okay. So,
mind, manasu, intellect, what we say.
okay. Fine. So all words comes now. Body, mind, intellect, everything comes. So Maharshi Aurobindo gave a beautiful definition on chitta. How many of you know Maharshi Aurobindo? Sri Aurobindo? Nobody? He's known as the brain of India.
Pondicherry, sir.
Pondicherry, yes. So he was a freedom fighter. Then he became so spiritual. He's the person who wrote Integral Yoga, the book Integral Yoga. He wrote a poem. That poem is known as the biggest poem in the world. Savitri, 22,000 something verses. Savitri. His books are quite very famous. The Life Divine, The Synthesis of Yoga, Integral Yoga, Savitri. So Maharshi Aurobindo, he says, Chitta is the mixture of mental, vital, and physical consciousness. Chitta is not just a mind. Okay. Chitta is not simply mind. Chitta is the mixture of mental, vital, and physical consciousness, out of which arises thoughts, emotions, sensations.
Sir, there's a lot of disturbance coming.
Where? From where? We do not know. And impulses. Yes, I will share the screen, then you can easily. Okay, this is Chitta. Chitta is the mixture of mental, vital, and physical consciousness, out of which rises thoughts, emotions, sensations, and impulses. I'll explain what it is. So go through these lines very carefully. I'm going to explain. Chitta is the mixture of mental. Mental means your mind, okay? Mind. Vital. Vital means your energy body. Energy body. Pranamaya kosha. Energy body. Vital. Physical. Physical means your body. Physical body. Gross body. So Chitta is the mixture of mind, energy body, and physical body, out of which rises thoughts, emotions, sensations, and impulses. Thoughts and emotions comes from the mental and the vital body. Right? Am I right? Thoughts and emotions comes from the mind and the energy body. No, sorry. Yes. Thoughts and emotions comes from the mental. Mind comes from the mind. Sensations and impulses comes from the vital and the physical body. Sensations and impulses rise from the vital energy body and the physical body. So now you understood Chitta is not simply mind. Chitta is the mixture of body, mind, and the energy body. Clear? This is clear? So if anyone asks you what is Chitta, don't say Chitta is simply mind. Chitta is the mixture of mental, vital, and physical consciousness. And now let us understand all about Chitta. If you remove A, it is called consciousness. Okay. So if you just remove this A, what is remaining? Chit. Chit means consciousness. Another word for consciousness. Sat, Chit, Ananda. Many of you know. Sat, Sat, Chit, Ananda. Sat, Chit, Ananda. Truth, consciousness, bliss. Now, Chitta includes three things: ego, intellect, and mind. Chitta includes three things: ego, intellect, and mind. Now we are going to study these all things in depth. What is ego? How to manage ego? What is intellect? How to train intellect? What is mind? How to balance mind? So this is what we are going to study now. Let us start with ego. Okay. So these three things, the part of Chitta, and it is in Sanskrit we call this as Antakaranam. Antakaranam means inner instruments. Inner instruments. Chitta's inner instruments. Ego, intellect, and mind. So let us start with the ego. What is ego? Whether ego is good or bad, what do you think? What is ego? Say something.
Yes, sir. It is good as ahankara.
Yes. Ego means ahankar, aham. Yes. What is that?
Yeah, it is the sense of I, or
Yes.
when it goes out of
That
a
is
limit, then
self-respect.
Self-respect is different. Yes.
So ego is self-bragging about your own self, like always talking about your own self, like I, me, myself. That becomes ego.
Yes. 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 Then what else?
So, I am something. That feeling of I am something.
Yes. Opinion of yourself. Kasturi says. Another question: whether ego is good or bad? Ego is good or bad?
good and bad.
Both.
I think it can go both ways.
Okay.
Both.
Nandini, ego is both good and bad.
For some good causes, it is good. Otherwise, it is dangerous.
Okay. So all of you have very good understanding. Thank you. So ego is actually neutral. Ego is both good and bad. Clancy says superiority towards yours. That is true. Superiority complex.
So ego means what we say ahankara, right? In Kannada, we say that sometimes ahankara is a alankara. For some particular aspects, it is a good also, and for that.
Yes, that is true. That is true. Ego is neutral. Ego is neutral, both good and bad. But the obstinate ego is dangerous. If ego is so predominant, you won't accept anyone. You will not accept anybody. That is the problem. So it says, ego helps you to expand your consciousness in the external world, but not in the inner world. Okay. Ego helps you to expand your consciousness in the outer world, external world, but it will not help you in the inner world. Actually, as long as we are a householder, as long as we are living in the society, we need ego. We need it. But we have to learn how to manage it. That is important. How to manage ego. So it says your ego should be like an old comfortable shoe. You must be able to slip it off if you do not want. You must be able to slip it on if you want. Understood? Use it and keep it away when you do not want. Your ego should be like an old comfortable shoe. You must be able to slip it on if you want, slip it off if you do not want. So in the coming classes, we will study about emotional management, how to practice. So ego is also an emotion that we have to manage. There are certain emotions that you have to annihilate completely. Jealousy. Jealousy is also an emotion that you must annihilate completely. But ego, anger, these emotions you have to manage in your life. Sometimes it is useful. The word emotion came from the word motion. The word emotion came from the word motion. It creates motion in your body. It creates motion in your glands, secretions, happens. So when you are so happy, you laugh, you smile, there is a movement in your cheeks. When you get anger, your body shiver. Certain hormones secretes. When you are in fear, adrenal gland produces. Yes, there is a movement in your body, in your glands. So when you come back to ego. So let us understand all about ego. I told you, as long as you live in the social life, leading social life, you have to manage ego. If you want to achieve anything, you need ego. Otherwise, you cannot achieve anything in this world. If you want to become a doctor, if you want to become a teacher, if you want to become an engineer, you need ego. The becoming thought, that attitude comes from ego. We want to become an engineer, we want to become a yoga teacher, we want to become a doctor. This is the main difference between we human and animals. Animals, of course, they have ego, but not like us. A dog do not want to become a super dog. A monkey do not want to become a super monkey. So they are just as it is. Trees as it is. But we want to achieve something, we want to become something. Because of ego. So it is needed, actually. We need ego. It's important. How do you know that you have ego? If anybody hurt you and if you feel bad, it means you have ego. For example, I am thinking, I am pretending that I am a great master. Okay. And someone challenged me. Some of you challenged me and I felt so bad. It means I have ego. Because I am thinking that I am something and you hit on that something. And I felt so bad. Got it? That something is ego, I-ness. I am thinking that I am something. I am a great master. I am something superior. And somebody challenged me and I felt so bad. Because that person hit on that something which is in me. That was my ego. I felt so bad. Once a person asked Swami Rama, what is the difference between an ordinary person and a monk? And Swami Rama replied, if anybody hurt you and if you feel bad, it means you are an ordinary person. If anybody hurt you and if you do not feel bad, it means you are a renunciate, you are a sannyasi, you are a monk. Now you can analyze how many monks are there in this world. They have much ego than us. So that is the difference. Actually, sannyasa has deeper meaning. Swami Shivananda gave a beautiful explanation on sannyasa. He says, sannyasa doesn't mean that wearing the saffron cloth, wearing rudraksha, leaving your family into darkness, ignoring the responsibilities, going and hiding in some caves and monasteries. That is not a sannyasa. He says, sannyasa means the renunciation of your weakness. That is real sannyasa. In this dress, you can be a sannyasi. No need to go to any monastery, no need to wear saffron clothes to become a sannyasi. So you have to define spirituality according to the times, certain period. So how to renounce ego? How to manage ego? That is important. How to manage it. Metaphorically, it says ego means edging God out. E represent edging. E represent edging. G represent God. O represent, oh sorry. Edging. G represent God. Out. Edging. E-G-O. Ego. Edging God out. So God doesn't have any importance. You are edging him out. Edging God out. That is the problem. If ego is so predominant, you cannot accept anyone. So in this picture, you can see this is a wheel. This is a wheel. This wheel has 4 spokes. One spoke is chitta. Another spoke is ego. Another spoke is intellect. And another spoke is mind. And ego is just one of the spoke. In this picture, you can see there is a hub, the center portion. Hub. This hub creates motion on these 4 spokes. And these 4 spokes create motion on this entire wheel, right? Because of this hub, the 4 spokes are rotating. And because of these 4 spokes, the entire wheel is rotating. And ego is just one of the spoke. And ego says, because of me, the whole wheel is rotating. This is the problem of ego. Ego do not want to accept intellect. Ego do not want to accept mind, chitta. Ego do not want to accept the hub. Hub is consciousness, the center portion. Because of that consciousness, the whole wheel is rotating, but ego, the obstinate ego, do not want to accept consciousness, intellect, mind. Ego is always overruling the intellect. Ego is overruling the consciousness. Ego is overruling the mind. So, if my ego is so predominant, I may tell because of me the whole Santhi Yoga is running. If there is no students, where is Santhi Yoga? So how we can manage this obstinate ego? This is what we have to study. How we can manage this obstinate ego? What do you think? How can you manage your ego? Your methods. Everybody have ego. I also have ego. How we are managing ego? What are the practical applications to manage our ego? Say something.
I actually didn't manage, but I realized, yeah, that is not the answer for the thing. But when we get challenged and when we get defeated, we realize that it was, ego which was blocking from knowing something. So, yeah, still not near the answer. Sorry.
Yes. After proper understanding and realization, we can deepen and broaden our awareness. Kasturi says gratitude, practicing gratitude. Pavitra, control our emotions. That is the difficult part, right? So how to ego is also an emotion. How to control, how to manage that stuff.
Sorry,
Plenty says
you mentioned that ego means edging God out. So opposite to that, if we could know centering God, then I think we can remove ego.
that is true. Centering yourself.
Yeah.
Yes. That is one of the best practical application. Centering yourself. It's not a self-centeredness. Self-centeredness and the centering yourself is totally different. So you have to center yourself. Yes. True. Any other ideas?
Becoming God consciousness, sir. Bringing God in.
True.
Surrendering to God.
Yes. Ishvara Pranidhana, self-surrender. Great.
So, can you explain the difference between self-centeredness and centering yourself?
In self-centeredness, you are concerned about yourself only. You are ignoring everyone. There is a selfishness. But in centering yourself means you are enjoying yourself in aloneness. You are focusing on yourself. You are centering. You come to that center. The center is consciousness. So in that wheel, you have seen the hub, right? The hub is consciousness, self. So you are coming to that center. You are more concerned about that focal point. And you can sacrifice anything for that. You are centering yourself. Self-centeredness, you are boosting your ego for your selfishness, for your needs and for your wants. You can do anything. You are ignoring everyone. You are not concerned about anyone. So the very word ethics is missing in self-centeredness. Ethics means, the very word ethics means concern for others. That is the meaning of the word ethics, concern for others. Anjali says removing materialistic I from ourselves. Great. Good thought. Now let us understand what are the yogic applications, yogic practical applications to manage our excessive ego. Yoga bring forward two techniques. First is karma yoga and second is bhakti yoga. Karma yoga and prayer. We are going to discuss about the karma yoga and then prayer. Prayer element from bhakti yoga. So what is karma yoga? I told you yesterday, selfless action, action without expectation, unfruitful action. That is what is karma yoga. And if you want to, if you want to do karma yoga, love should be there. You must have love. Then only you can practice karma yoga from the bottom of your heart. Otherwise, it is just an intellectual exercise, intellectual practice. So do not expect any result. Karma yoga, the science of karma yoga says, surrender the fruit of your action to the lotus feet of your God. Surrender the fruit of your action, the results, to God. And what Christ has said in the Bible, what your right hand is doing, let your left hand do not know about it. What your right hand is doing, let your left hand do not know. If you serve, if you practice Karma Yoga, don't say to anyone, do not say to anyone. Let it be so secret. If you say to anyone, then the value lost. There is a very famous Sufi saying, do good things and throw it into the well. Do good things and throw it into the well. What does it mean? Do good things and forget it completely. Do not carry in your mind. Don't be proud of yourself. Don't be proud of yourself. So that is all. So Karma Yoga is extremely difficult, right? It's extremely difficult. We are proud of ourselves. We are carrying those memories. We are not ready to let go. Then it is not Karma Yoga. You must forget the results of the action, the goodness, everything you must forget. Let me tell you one story. How many of you know the great Zen Buddhist monk Bodhidharma? Bodhidharma? Nobody?
Yeah, only after the film.
Elamaru.
Same.
Okay. So Bodhidharma was a great Zen Buddhist monk. In Zen Buddhism, 3 pillars are there: Bodhidharma, Laosu, Changsu. So actually, Laosu was practicing Taoism, but the combination of Taoism and Buddhism is called Zen Buddhism. And Bodhidharma's life and Buddha's life quite so similar. Both of them were the prince. Bodhidharma was the king. Both of them renounced all the material pleasures and went for sannyasa. So Bodhidharma, he was a liberated sage, enlightened master. He was very famous for his mystic powers. He was a great healer. He was an enlightened master too. And once a king came to his cave and asked, I built hundreds and hundreds of Buddhist temples. I am feeding thousands and thousands of Buddhist sannyasis. When I die, which heaven I will be? The king expect the 7th heaven, but Bodhidharma told, get ready to fall into the 7th hell, you are not going to get heaven. So he was feeding thousands of monks, he built hundreds of temples. Bodhidharma told, get ready to fall into the 7th hell, you are not going to get heaven, because you have done all these actions with lot of expectation. So you won't get it. So that is not the eligibility criteria to reach heaven. Okay? Then Elon Musk can build thousands of temples and easily he can reach heaven. Bill Gates, Ambani, all those rich people can easily reach heaven. That is not the eligibility criteria. It should be from the bottom of your heart. A child is starving, he's sitting on a roadside, and if your heart, if you feel so pain inside, if you feel so compassion and mercy, if your heart is melting, and out of that feeling, you feed that child, that is called karma yoga. It should happen from the bottom of your heart, not intellectually, not at all intellectually. So we are helping many people because religion taught us such a way. Feed people, give cause, you will get heaven. And you are doing those practices intellectually, not mindfully, right? That is not karma yoga. So empathy, sympathy. You have to feel. You have to feel the consciousness of the society. That is karma yoga. That is actual communism. Communism. A communist government should feel the consciousness of the society and give what society needs. That is real communism. So that is karma yoga. The best communist leaders, comrades are always the best karma yogis, but you cannot see such type of comrades now. So it should happen from the bottom of your heart. Understood what is karma yoga? Karma philosophy is different. Karma yoga is different. Both are different. Subtle difference there. So when you practice karma yoga, your mind is so humble and meek. When I was studying at Vyasa University, Bangalore, the ashram name is Prashant Kudira. So the first semester, if you enter into any ashram, they will give you karma yoga first. So when you practice karma yoga, you become so humble and meek. You become one with the servants. So in the first semester, they allow me to go to the kitchen. I was grinding my first semester. Karma yoga was grinding coconut in the kitchen with the servants. If you think that I am different and they are different, I am paying this much of fees and why they are giving such type of duties, I am boosting ego. But when I am becoming one with those people, I am subsiding my ego. So this is important. Karma yoga is very important. When you come to Santhi Yoga offline batch, the teachers are cooking and feeding the students. Mohanji is cooking food for the students. And students also cooking each other and serving. So karma yoga is so necessary. You become so humble and meek. Karma philosophy is different. What is karma philosophy? In each and every action, there is equal reaction, right? That is karma philosophy. There is a very funny story. It says it really happened. So all of you know Akbar and Birbal, right? Birbal were one of the 9 jewels in his palace. Once Akbar asked Birbal, Birbal, I want to know what is karma philosophy. Please teach me what is karma philosophy. But Birbal didn't answer, didn't teach. He was waiting for a better opportunity to teach this philosophy to Akbar. And once Akbar and Birbal, along with the soldiers and ministers, they were walking. And Birbal said some bitter joke against Akbar. And according to the law, he has to be punished. Birbal has to be punished. But Akbar did not want to punish Birbal because they were so close. They were such a good friends. But he has to be punished. What Akbar has done is Akbar slapped on his cheek. And the next moment, Birbal slapped on the next soldier's face. And everybody shocked. What happened to this person? He became mad. And Birbal told to the soldier, why you are waiting? Slap to the next person. And that soldier slapped to the next soldier. And this slapping went around the palace. And at midnight, when Akbar was sleeping, 12 o'clock time, his wife slapped on his face. Akbar's wife slapped on Akbar's face. He jumped out from the bed and asked, why did you slap me? And she said, you slapped Birbal. He slapped to the next person. This slap went around the palace and finally reached me. And you are the last person. You deserve it. So this is how Birbal explained what is karma philosophy. If you do good action, definitely you will get the good result. If you do bad action, definitely you will get the bad effect. So always be aware of your thoughts. Always be aware of your words and action. So the result completely depends upon your karma. So thought is also karma actually. Words, your deeds, actions, that all karma. So always be aware. Each and every moment you have to be so aware. Clear. So karma yoga is somehow clear. So karma yoga is one of the easiest method to break your ego, to manage your ego. Karma yoga. And after, the next method is prayer. It's part of bhakti yoga. What is prayer? What is prayer? Say something. Numbers. Any idea?
It is a practice of it is a practice whereby we are dedicating to God.
What else?
Is it like accepting someone is higher than us?
Okay.
Pray to someone.
So it is a way of showing our gratitude and love towards God.
Okay. Gratitude and love towards God.
Complete surrender to a higher power, maybe.
Okay, great. Anjali, I was asking what is prayer? Prayer. 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 What is the difference between prayer and meditation? How it differs? Yes.
Is it we are doing prayer and meditation is happening?
Meditation is?
It is happening to us, and prayer we are doing prayer or we are performing.
Okay. Jinsman says prayer is a communication. Yes, that is true. Yes, it is a communication. So let me tell you. Yes.
So when we surrender to God, it becomes a prayer. But when we surrender to our oneself, like we start thinking in our own thoughts, it becomes meditation.
Great, good thought. So Jinsman says it's a communication. So prayer, yes. In prayer, we are speaking to God, right? We are speaking to God. It's one aspect of prayer, one aspect. But in meditation, it says God is speaking to you. So when we pray, we are verbalizing, right? We are keep talking to God. But in meditation, God is telling to you, please shut your mouth and listen what I am speaking to you. So I am keep talking to you. I am keep talking to you. If you speak, I cannot listen. If I want to hear your voice, I have to hold my tongue. So in meditation, you are entering into great silence, and in that silence, you can listen the voice of call of consciousness. So meditation is something higher than prayer. What is actual prayer? That we have to understand. What is real prayer? It's a big topic. So I will finish with a small story, and we can discuss the remaining things tomorrow. So this story is quite popular. Once there was a Sufi sage, Sufi mystic. He used to go to mosque every day. He's standing inside the mosque for hours and hours. He's standing like a statue. Once the authorities of the mosque called him and asked why you are coming here every day. You look so strange. You are standing like a statue. You are not putting any coins into the offering box. You are not speaking anything. Then why you are coming here? Who you are? You don't think that you are praying. And he said, the Sufi said a story. Once there was a beggar. He was very lean. His clothes were completely torn. In his one hand, the begging box. At his other hand, a long staff. Along with this appearance, he entered into the king's palace. King didn't ask who you are. At the first sight itself, he came to know that he is a beggar without any question. He put some coins into his begging box. And the Sufi told, when the king of the small state came to know that he is a beggar, then the king of the entire universe did not need my words. And He said, my prayer is my thoughts, my prayer is my words, my prayer is my action. So this is what is prayer. What does it mean? Your life is your prayer. What is your life? Your thoughts, your words, your action. This is what is life, right? So he says, my prayer is my thoughts, my good thoughts, my good words, my good action. Without corrupting these three things, if you keep verbalize something, that is not prayer. That is not at all prayer. You are befooling yourself. You are deceiving yourself. So many people, they are doing wrong action. They speak all negative and wrong words. And they are praying and praying. What is the meaning? That is not prayer. So your life is your prayer. Your life is your prayer. What happens in prayer? When you pray, you are so humble and meek in front of your God. If you are using any idols, I'm telling you. Some people, they are not using any idols. They are looking at their self. They are worshipping the Nirakara Brahma, formless, formless, nameless. So you are so humble and meek in front of God. So what will happen? The subtle part of your mind, which is called ego, is accepting the reality during prayer. The subtle part of your mind, which is called ego, is accepting the reality. Accepting the reality. Metaphorically, it says ego is the failure to comprehend the real nature of yourself. Ego is the failure to comprehend the real nature of yourself. But in prayer, what happens? You are accepting your real nature. The I dissolves in prayer. Okay. So tomorrow we can continue. I think 8:40.
So, excuse me, sir. I want to pull back a bit where you saw the chakra.
Pardon?
Yeah, you were showing a chakra which shows one wheel. One spoke of the wheel as mind, intellect, and ego and chitta.
Right.
And the center as consciousness.
Right.
And yesterday you were told you told that the in Hindi translation the meaning of consciousness is chitta.
No. Chaitanya.
Then what is this chitta, sir?
Chitta is the mixture of mental, vital, and physical consciousness. If you remove A from chitta, it is called consciousness. Chit is consciousness. Chitta is the mixture of mind, body, and energy body. Chitta. If you remove A, it's chit. Chit is consciousness. Consciousness has many meanings, many Sanskrit terminologies. One is Chaitanya, Brahman, Purusha, Turiya. So many words it has, many words.
Okay. And my another question is, so can we totally abolish or destroy our ego?
Can we?
Can we totally destroy or remove this ego?
It is possible. is possible.
Or should we properly direct the ego from false ego to true ego?
That is also possible.
Mhm.
So when you come to the highermost samadhi, there is no ego at all. There is no ego. It's called nirbija samadhi. Nirbija means no seed. The seed of ego is not there in the highermost samadhi. But in the lower samadhi, sabija samadhi, sabija means with seed. The seed of ego still exists in the lower samadhi. Ego should be there to experience something. If ego is not there, you cannot experience anything.
Yes, yes.
Or by complete surrender like Mirabai.
Right. Yes.
Sir, this karma yoga, that means that is mainly that Buddhist philosophy, karma. As per that Buddhist Gautam Buddha, that whatever we do, that will come back to us.
Yes. Karma philosophy is very strong in Buddhism rather than Hinduism. It's very strong. They have many philosophies regarding karma.
The Jainism also somewhat like Buddhism. As per the Bardhaman Mahavir,
Right.
that 24th Tirthankara also says that one.
Yes, that is true. So Buddhism and Jainism, bit similar, not completely, bit similar. Buddha and Jaina, both of them lived in the same period of time. Both of them lived in Bihar. Actually, the name was Vihar. Later it known as Bihar. Vihar means the place of wandering sages. Vihar, Vihar, Vihar. So Buddha and Jaina, both of them were contemporaries, but they never met each other. Their philosophies also were very similar.
There were so many similarities between them. Both were the princes, both were left their palaces after the marriage, and so on.
True. Any other questions? So shall we wind up today's session and meet you all tomorrow? Okay. Thank you all.
Whether you will be providing the presentation?
Yes.
Sharing
Yesterday's class, I will share the introduction to yoga. That slide I will share right now. And
today's
definitions of yoga after the completion of this lecture, I will share. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.